Okay, peeps, we're moving forward for the Bifrost portion of the game. I'm gonna keep the same team for this the playthrough of this video. Just for the I guess just for the sake of us being in Asgard and everything, it just makes sense to keep gods.
Heads up, men. Seems we got us a little challenge.
Little is right. What fun are they gonna be? I wanna fight more gods.
Yeah, this bunch is gonna be too easy. That's what we get for taking out their big guns first. Now it's just a matter of dealing with the small fries. Now you're making me angry. Big mistake. Get 'em, men, and make 'em hurt real bad.
Though I'm fairly familiar with the these antagonists because I've read them in a previous comic, I didn't like their model. So with that being said, I appropriately switched each and every one of them out. What's going on here? They seem frozen. Ah, Doctor Strange did a move that froze them. That was fairly confusing. That's interesting. That's super useful too. That's crazy how the one character in my roster that I don't like is the most powerful character by far. I mean, I'm assuming that's Doctor Strange freezing these characters here. Oh, gee. Oh, you'll notice that I replaced the members of what I call the Wrecking Crew with basically the minions of Gorilla Grodd. I prefer the models, with the models being far more detailed, and I also think they're just better jobbers for this situation. I've been trying my best to frequently replace Marvel assets with DC assets, and I've been trying to do it in a very intelligent way. I think, though I've seen this crew before in previous comics, I don't think too many people are really familiar with these characters. That and the models aren't that great, so I just switched them out appropriately. Hopefully it's doing it justice. Oh, again, Heimdall is a modded character. He's someone that I had to go and find a hero stat for and plug into the game appropriately. I have to say, for the most part, Heimdall is by far my favorite character in the MCU, and I'm so grateful to have him. Jeez. That was interesting. Yeah, the thought of like a giant sentient gorilla with psychic abilities, of course I'm referring to Gorilla Grodd, it's pretty horrifying. Take the mind control aspect out of it, but the fact that it's a gorilla with like human intelligence it's pretty creepy. If that were a thing, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be difficult for gorillas to take over the world if they have our intellect, given that they're physically superior. Trying to figure out where I should go from here. Starting to think I should backtrack, maybe. I'm gonna switch over to Star-Lord here.
Come to Earth for an important mission. It'll be fun, they say. Not my fault.
That's odd. I'm not sure how to get through this gate. Maybe I was just supposed to take these guys out, then head back, maybe. Confused here. I apologize. I'm not really sure what I should be doing. That's interesting. Oh, my apologies, y'all. I get stuck sometimes.
Be able to join us from Earth. Return to Valhalla immediately.
That was easy. My apologies, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes from time to time, so there will be moments where I have hang-ups.
Good job, team. The gates of Bifrost are open now, and the path to Earth is clear. Your next mission involves freeing the gods in Asgard. For more information, talk to Lady Sif. Or, if you want to go now, use the path to Asgard. And you should be happy to know that having finished the Bifrost mission, you're allowed into the Hall of the Honored Fallen.
Okay, so I take it that I'm supposed to talk to Lady Sif. As you can see, I replaced, what was his name? Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. I think it's Hermes with Flash. I think Flash just fits his model better. Plus, it makes sense to have a character with super speed replaced with the respective one from a different franchise. I was told to go talk to Sif. Sif is actually Thor's girlfriend. Of course, saying that with quotes. She's really just his love interest. But that among other women that Thor's interested in. Hey, that's cool. And who's this? Doesn't matter. I believe this is Sif here.
Greetings, human. I would have you know Valhalla is a very sacred place of the Asgard dead. It is only because of the war that we would allow you to make camp here. Not well. Our city is overrun, and our warriors imprisoned. Odin is now facing the frost giants alone. You must travel to Asgard and free Baldur from his prison. Then he can rally the other gods and win back our fair city. You may go now.
The hell? Who are you talking to, woman? Okay, I guess we're moving forward from here. Let's go save first. My game's super modded. It's not really buggy, but it's still a modded PC game. As we all know, modded PC games tend to crash. Save her out here. Cool. And let's move along. I gotta figure out where we need to go next. Let's see here. Pretty sure it shouldn't be at the Bifrost gate. Maybe? Let's see. The Bifrost. This thing has been destroyed so many times in the MCU. It's kind of ironic considering it's operated by Heimdall, who's a member of my group. I'm not sure who would replace him in this situation. But I'm pretty sure there's someone who could be a stand-in while he's out. This looks like somewhere we've been already. I'm going back. I honestly have no idea where to go. I'll just try to wing it. That clearly wasn't it. So let's try this out. This looks like the entrance to somewhere, which I'm not going to. Let's go see what this other exit is about. Yeah, this is by far my favorite game though, graphically and gameplay wise. I haven't seen anything that's touching this. And yes, it is mainly because of the mods that I've placed in here. They improved the game drastically, but in that same breath, by default, I think it was ultimately a really good game anyway. Asgard, World of Asgard. Let's try this. Okay, hopefully this is the right direction. I really honestly don't know.
Wondrous than my wildest of dreams. How I wish I could forever relive the fall of Asgard. It was so amusing to watch the oafish knaves as they fought in defense of their beloved city. But one by one, they realized that all was lost. Heimdall, Tyr, and even the mighty Balder have tasted the bitter dregs of defeat. Now I, Loki, am the true lord and master of Asgard. And all those who had dared to mock me are in chains, beaten, and hopeless.
Need I remind you, Loki, that your brother Thor still remains free?
Your fascination with the god of thunder grows tiresome, Enchantress.
But has he not proven himself your better time and time again?
Careful. That beauteous face will gain you only so much of my mercy.
But she does bring a valid point to light. Thor will likely attempt to liberate the fallen warriors.
Think you that I would not be prepared? Traps aplenty wait for those who would dare to free my prisoners.
Traps that even they cannot overcome.
You underestimate me, Doom. After all, am I not the god of mischief? My brother and his friends will most assuredly enter Asgard. But trust me when I say they will never leave.
Very good. You must now move quickly to free Balder. Only he can rally the gods and save Asgard.
That's super interesting. It's still pretty jarring for me to see these cutscenes given that I replaced all of the models, and given how much better the models are, of course, for the respective characters that I replaced. It makes it even worse, but there's really nothing I can do about those cutscenes. Honestly, keeping the cutscenes in game isn't really a bad idea, given it's good for nostalgia purposes. As you can see, I've replaced a lot of the jobber ogres in the game with characters from Mortal Kombat, specifically being Goro. Goro is actually a member of a race in the MK universe called Shokan. With that being said, that means it's more than one of him. I'm actually tracking that Goro is actually the prince of the Shokan. So, of course, Goro is one of a kind, but he's not the only one in his species. This is just another one of my attempts to slickly integrate assets from other franchises into Marvel. Can't get through here. Everyone's in the freaking way. Yeah, you gotta love that Strange, man. I don't know what that move is he's doing, but it's petrifying everyone. I'm actually coming to appreciate him being on the team. Yep, gotta love it. It's kind of awesome. Whoa, what is this about? I have to. Okay, what now? Oh. Sweet. I'll just leave this here. Yeah, what stands out the most with me in this game is the locales. I love being able to go to locations that are so different from one another. I think it's rather pleasant being able to, I guess, leave the monotony of being in the same place. I've played a few games like Marvel Ultimate Alliance where they didn't really change the locations you could go to. It basically starts just like you in a facility, then you're in a street, then you're in another facility, and then you're in a street, and then rinse and repeat. Of course, I'm referring to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. I noticed the locations kinda sucked. Alright, we got another save point here. I'll just save her out. Let's go over Mandarin 2. Just to have a backup for later. Okay, I noticed the Thor statue. I'm pretty sure this is the portion of the game where you have to use Thor's power to activate that statue. He who fails to pay homage to the statue of Thor must prove worthy through a test of might. But should the test be chosen, know this, the troll can or many a number, yet easily defeated by casting them on fire. Pretty sure I could just use Thor on that statue and gotten through. Not sure why I did this. Really getting tired of being hit with Star-Lord. I apologize for the brief freezing that my computer keeps doing. I'm actually not in my computer room at the moment. I'm playing on an alternate system. I'm starting to notice this system isn't really as good as my system is, but no, I'm just working with what I have at the moment. Whew, those models look really good. I noticed you could be mid-fight and the enemy will walk up behind you and pop you in the back of the head. I'm pretty sure that's due to an enemy mod I have in game. It not only makes more enemies spawn, but it also makes them more aggressive. It slightly changes their attack patterns and makes them act like normal bad guys would. I gotta admit, playing with Thor is pretty cool. He's very powerful. He feels like he's a strong character. Jeez, how many enemies are there? Okay, good God. Sweet. I'm sure I could have done that with Thor though. Alright, awesome. Now what? Take it I have to just murder the rest of these guys. Okay. These textures are absolutely amazing. That's the one good thing we got from that remaster. I know everyone hates the 2016 remaster of this game, but honestly, without those assets from that said game, we wouldn't be able to mod the 2006 version and ultimately get this masterpiece. So I am actually pretty appreciative of their remaster. This is interesting.
What's this? Are you another illusion of Loki's? Will his thirst for vengeance upon us ever be sated? I should have known friends of Thor would come to our aid. But it shall not be so easy to liberate me. 2 of my brethren are also imprisoned, Tyr and Heimdall. To break the spells which bind me, you must free them first. You will find them through the doors to either side of me. I care not about my fate, but please, free Tyr and Heimdall.
This should prove interesting given that Heimdall is on my team. So maybe this in-game model of Heimdall is going to be maybe the default model from the base game, or it may be a Heimdall that or rather a movie version of Heimdall that I replaced it with. I honestly don't remember. I should take in consideration things like that though. For instance, having a character in your roster and then that respective character already being an NPC in the game. I tend to try my best to avoid situations like that, given that for me personally, it's quite jarring when I come across it. Okay, what the heck? Oh, Doctor Strange. Oh, jeez. It's interesting. I forgot I replaced this character with Shazam from the movie. Or is it a television show? I think it's a Netflix show. I can't remember. But yeah, basically I used the realistic Shazam model. I think it looks good there. Alright, let's figure out where to go from here. Yeah, this game is just stellar. Even these loading screens look amazing. Okay, let's figure out what to do. What is this about? No, we got Heimdall, the Ram is guarding the Bifrost Bridge, located north and west. With his knowledge, one can open the barred door. Something about knowledge. Only thing I gather from that is there's a couple puzzles I have to do. God, I love these Shokan models, dude. They look so awesome in here. I can tell you firsthand, I am not fighting with Doctor Strange. I'm going to use my powers as much as I can. That's kind of his shtick anyway. This is confirmation too. It's been Doctor Strange this whole time, petrifying all of the characters. So I don't really mind. The awesome thing about Heimdall is he's a god character like Thor, but he doesn't have the ability to fly. People tend to forget that Thor flies because of his hammer, which he rotates at a very high velocity, and he attempts to throw the hammer. If you look closely at Thor's hammer, he actually has a piece of leather hanging off of the end of it. He holds on to that lever, and then he throws the hammer. It's supposed to be, I guess it's supposed to mean that the weight or the impact of the hammer flying in said direction is what pulls and propels Thor. Super interesting in my opinion. I've always liked that. But long story short, Heimdall's not a character that can fly. That's a very interesting and neat detail that the creator of this modded character got right actually. Because honestly, if Heimdall just started flying when I started playing with this character, it would have weirded me out. Actually, in all honesty, I probably would have personally changed that.
But you're gonna regret that.
It's interesting. So I put Abomination in this part of the stage. I think it's legit. Pretty good place to put Abomination. You'll notice immediately that with Heimdall being technically a god, he has roughly the same strength as Thor, but in that same breath, Thor's a very mighty god compared to most, so of course Thor is stronger than Heimdall is. Admittedly, I'm super curious as to which model I use for Heimdall in game. As what the heck for the NPC, because I really don't remember what I replaced the asset with. If I replace the asset. I swear, man, I haven't loaded this game up for like a week. And just looking at the models in combination with the reshade, good God, this is a beautiful game. Seriously, these models that mimic the likeness of said protagonists and antagonists from the MCU universe is absolutely incredible. It bumps this game to new levels. Taking too much damage. My Heimdall is dying. I switched him out with Thor since Thor has more life. That and it seems Thor has more powers unlocked, so it'll be easier for me to cut down these characters. Actually, since he's dying, I could have sworn I saw life. Abomination. This variation of Abomination is of course the Abomination that first appeared in the Incredible Hulk reboot movie. Of course the first one that came out after the Ang Lee version. Pretty good model. Wasn't really a fan of the movie given the plot being all over the place and their choice of some actors. But overall the movie wasn't terrible. Okay, see where to go from here. By the way, I love this Thor Ragnarok model. Specifically, this is the version of Thor from the beginning of the movie. The scene where he was, I guess, hanging by chains. He was there to get a crown to return to his father. Sure, he only wore this for a short amount of time, but I really love this, I guess, aesthetic of his outfit. I think it looks pretty nice. I swear these Mortal Kombat models look really good in this area. Not sure to go here. Figure something out. Okay. More abominations. Typically when you see characters that are from the Hulk, or characters that typically use the super soldier serum. Of course, I'm referring to characters like Rock Slide, Abomination, pretty much any character that uses the serum at one point. It's going to replace any jobber model in the game that's supposed to be the equivalent. It's interesting. I'm under the impression that the controller disconnected. I'm under the impression that in the movie, the Hulk, or rather the movie Hulk version of Abomination, is supposed to be a one-time deal. I don't think so. I think with enough serum, it mangles you to the point of just being that ugly. Where I guess what I'm trying to say is the likeness of the said human is derived doesn't really matter. So I put more than one Abomination in said game. I wonder how you get through the store. I'm curious. It's interesting. This is peculiar. Thor is so awesome. Okay. Actually, this arrow says face west. So let's see if I'm supposed to follow these arrows. It's a quite interesting puzzle. I take it I screwed up the other part. So I'm gonna try to mosey back, fix it, if feasible. Clearly that door is going to open once I rotate this. At least that's my assessment, if I'm doing this correctly. Okay. I take it that's the same door I've been trying to get through. Okay, let's go. See what you got. XX circle. XX circle. There you go. I'm not sure if that's because of the booster or if that's how it is by default, but the impact when you hit someone with this hammer is really incredible. It feels really good. It's like a hard crunch when he smacks you across the face with it. It's pretty gratifying, I have to say. I've always loved this stage, given that I don't really know much about Asgard per se. So traversing this stage actually makes me a little more familiar with what Marvel intends for the landscape, or rather the setup of Asgard as a whole to be. Wow, they're messing me up. Jeez. Yeah, I'm getting messed up pretty bad here, so. This is one of those games you really have to go by feeling. Considering that a lot of these moves don't really encompass the screen, there's still a lot of different players fighting, which causes usually an overlap of the models and making it thus very difficult for you to see. You have to resort to doing things such as rotating the camera or utilizing group moves like this that basically spreads everyone out. But for the most part, I think visually this game is eons above anything else. Of course, I'm referring to Ultimate Alliance 2 and the upcoming Ultimate Alliance 3. Whew, I was wondering when Stranger's going to use that petrification move. It's really useful. Jeez. God keeps grabbing me. How about this? There we go. Oh, this guy regenerates? This is not fun. Keeps grabbing me too. It's pissing me off a little bit. He's got a lot of life. Yeah, that was not fun. Come here. That's interesting. I've just noticed this video is well over 30 minutes. I try to keep my videos at 30 minutes a piece. It's just a personal preference. Pretty soon I'll be ending this video. Actually, I'll end this video here and then we'll just pick up from the said, or rather the same point. I'll see you guys in a sec.